Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to Race 14 of Season 10 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Ford 400 at Toledo Speedway. Yes, our first time ever taking a trip to my home state of Ohio, as we're getting set for 70 laps of racing at this fast half-mile racetrack. Real quick before we get into everything, a quick explanation as to why there were only 32 cars in this race. Toledo apparently doesn't allow more than 32 cars on the racetrack. So that is why only Seth Cole and Chris Dollarton out of the Go or Go Homers were able to get into this race. So apologies to all the Go or Go Home drivers that did not make it. But let's take a look at the top 10 and the points coming into the race today. Daniel DK moved up from 6th to 1st after Michigan on Monday. Leads by 5 points, literally one spot on track over Michael Norman. 20 over Kyle Matthews, 70 over Jay Jefferson, 75 over Keith Miller Jr., 80 over Cole Deaver, 110 over Scott Groverston, 130 over James Qualls, 180 over Jonathan Zorline, and 215 over Riley Henry. Top 10 in the starting lineup for today. Seth Cole scores his first pole of the season, with Henry Sanford starting next to him in second. Row 2, Alyssa Drayson, Jay Jefferson. Row 3, Melissa Alexander, Keith Miller Jr. Row 4, Shadow Cole teammates Dylan Jacobs and Lindsey Snyder. Then row 5, Jonathan Zorline and Laney Marino. Let's get the command to fire engines for the Ford 400 at Toledo.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 32 drivers now rolling around for the pace lap here. So I've done some testing with this track, and there can be some pretty good racing all throughout the field. Maybe not as much up at the front, but all throughout the field there is some really good racing. Maybe pit strategy could come into play given if there are timely cautions at a certain point in time in this race. And also with it only being 32 cars on track, nobody will be getting bottom 5, no points. Everybody in this race is going to be scored points. Pace car in the pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to boogity 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 go racing. So Seth Cole not only getting the 5 bonus points for qualifying on the pole, but 5 bonus points for leading a lap. So that is 10 bonus points for that 25 car, who is trying hard to get as many points as he possibly can to try and get back into the top 30 in the point standings to get locked into future races. And right now he's looking good here in the early going as he is trying to pull away from second place Alyssa Drayson. But look at Dylan Jacobs all of a sudden. It's like ever since the start of the race, his car's just jumped forward as he's now right on the back bumper of Alyssa Drayson. Kind of backed off the gas just a little bit to maybe give some breathing room to the front grille to get some air. Now he's trying to get a lower lane going to make a move on the 87, but doesn't quite do it there in turn 1. And this is helping for Seth Cole to try and pull away from the rest of the field, as he's now almost a second ahead of second place. And in fact, he has ran the fastest lap of the race so far, and now he just added on to that. And now Dylan Jacobs, I guess he might have moved the 87 out of the way and just like, you know what, I'm taking the spot now. I want to make the charge up to the front. And now Dylan Jacobs to the race lead. But does he have anything for the 25 up ahead? Well, he did run a much faster lap, and in fact, the fastest lap on track so far at a 15.827. And you can definitely tell he is closing in the gap pretty quick on the 25. Now it's under 9/10 of a second, even faster, 15.704 for the 41 of Jacobs. But Seth Cole, who's trying to get his first win in quite some time, as it's been a while, since the Season 8 champion has been to victory lane in the Marvel Studios Cup Series. Same going for Dylan Jacobs as he must have cut that lead in half right there. Yeah, almost directly in half, as Seth's lap was rather horrendous. And Jacobs was only off from his best lap by 1/1000th of a second. Now Jacobs really closing the gap on the 25. And now he just beat his lap by 1/1000th of a second. So yeah, Jacobs definitely trying to get to the 25, although Seth Cole's lap was quite good in his own right. But now we're about to possibly see a fight for the lead, as Dylan Jacobs is now closing in on the back bumper of Seth Cole, as they are actually well over 2 seconds ahead of third place on back. So the top two have kind of broken away, but now the caution is out, so Jacobs is going to have to wait. Some damaged cars on the track. It looks like quite a few cars got damaged. Jay Jefferson, Lindsey Snyder might have been in this. Cole Deaver looks like he might have got a tiny piece of it. Same with Michael Norman. Actually, the top two in points were involved in whatever this was, with Norman and DK, as Daniel DK was also involved. Jesse Turner got some damage from running into Charles Belding there trying to get on pit road, and everybody's coming into pit road here. So we are going to see who's going to come out of pit road first, as that might not have been what Dylan Jacobs was hoping for. He had quite a motor under that hood trying to catch to the 25 and make the move for the lead, but with the caution coming out now, that's going to change things up. And actually some cars going with different strategies. Some going to take tires, some going to take no tires, although Carson Gums got no hood, yet he came out fourth, as everybody's trying to slow down to give each other room, as there's actually quite a few cars damaged. So might have been a skirm on pit road that caused all this to happen, and Dylan Jacobs lost a lot of spots on pit road as a result, but Seth Cole still maintaining the race lead. Let's take a look and see what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Toledo. So here's a look at what happened. So this is at the very, very back of the field, and it's 3 wide between Cole Deaver, Michael Norman, and Daniel DK. 3 of the top 10 in the standings right there, including the top 2, the points leader and second in points. And it looks like the contact is going to come whenever... I'm still waiting to see how all this unfolds properly. Looks like Cole Deaver kind of runs up into Michael Norman, which causes Norman to go up into Daniel DK. And Norman actually gets sideways, tries to catch the car down into Deaver, up into DK, and they all go into the outside wall. Norman took a pretty good lick into the wall. Lisa Nelson did a fantastic job to avoid everything, as she was right behind all of this mess. All 3 of those cars end up going backwards up against the wall. Now I'm trying to see what happened in the aftermath. Oh, it was right there. It looks like Jay Jefferson took the corner way too high, and he's going to end up getting the outside wall, and then he's going to come down in front of his teammate, Lindsey Snyder, and then they're going to come off the front end of Daniel Voiles, and both of them get turned around. Well, in the case of Jefferson, he just went sliding. Then he gets clipped by Voiles again. Then gets hit by the 1. And that's how this happened. So we had 2 wrecks that occurred within about a half lap of each other. But luckily, no one sustained severe damage. I believe everybody's still going to be able to continue, but some pit strategy happening under caution. Some taking tires, some not taking tires, as we take you to the restart here at Toledo. Well, after that caution and the aftermath and everything that happened on pit road, no cars out of the race as a result. It's like I said, some cars took tires, some didn't. Seth Cole was one of those that didn't, and yet he is still the race leader here at Toledo. Second is James Qualls. Third is Alyssa Drayson. Fourth, and with no hood, is Carson Gum. 5th is Keith Miller Jr. 6th is Kyle Matthews. 7th, Henry Sanford. 8th, Jonathan Zorling. 9th, Jessica Shelton. 10th, Dylan Jacobs. 11th is William Brock. 12th, Riley Henry. 13th, Dylan Poteet. 14th, Melissa Alexander. 15th, Jordan Forbes. 16th, Rafael LeDuc. 17th, Chris Dollarton. 18th, Laney Marino. 19th, Scott Groverston. And then 20th is Charles Belding. Then the rest of the field, Jesse Turner, Lindsey Snyder, Matt McIntyre, Ryan Acosta, Michael Norman, Dylan Young, Daniel Voiles, Quentin Moore, Lisa Nelson, Jay Jefferson, Cole Deaver, Daniel DK. Green flag is back out. Seth Cole got off to a pretty good jump on that restart, or Qualls just didn't get going, and yet Seth Cole has virtually old tires. Everybody else, I believe, took at least 2 tires, although James Qualls might have spun his tires on that restart. Let's see if he can catch his car and maybe start catching back up to the 25, and he definitely pulled away from Alyssa Drayson right there, as Drayson was right on the back bumper of the 70 going into turn 1 on the previous lap. Now he finally has his car under control, although Seth Cole just ran his fastest lap of the race at a 15.709. Not the fastest lap, but the second fastest lap. Let's see, this time actually ran slower as Qualls ran faster, but Alyssa Drayson ran even quicker. And how about Carson Gum? Despite no hood, he's still up to speed and actually running pretty fast lap times. So maybe Carson Gum could have a chance to win this race given the right circumstances. He might be able to make something happen. But so far, Seth Cole has led every single lap, and I am honestly shocked he's still up here hanging out up front with these old tires he's got. And it looks like the fastest car on the racetrack currently is still Dylan Jacobs, as he's picking his way up through the field one by one, trying to pick up where he left off at the start of the race. And I honestly do feel he probably could have gotten past Seth Cole had that caution not come out. So he's going to have to try again and try and get around 4 more cars before he can try and run down the 25. Although I do feel eventually those old tires the 25 has are going to bite him eventually. As right now, Dylan Jacobs still running pretty quick, trying to get past the 09 of Kyle Matthews. Although Jacobs actually did run a little bit slower. Currently, Seth Cole hanging on to a little over 1 second lead over James Qualls, as Alyssa Drayson trying to figure out how to get around the 70 of Qualls to get up to second. As this is probably going to be an eventual battle going on the racetrack eventually. Although Qualls actually did run a faster lap than the 87, but Seth was the fastest of the top 5. Now Dylan Jacobs finally gets past Kyle Matthews for position, although Dylan Poteet's starting to run pretty quick on the track. Dylan Jacobs looks like he's going to go up to 4th, as he's going to go past Carson Gum. So now Jacobs... Whoa, Carson actually about got into the wall trying to give room to the 41. Now Jacobs back to running the lap times he was running just a little bit ago, as he's under 3 seconds back, so he's going to have to like really push it and hope that those old tires of the 25 start to wear out, as Jacobs, I want to say, took 4 tires on that pit stop during the caution, although Dylan Poteet is running a little bit faster than the 41, so these are the 2 fastest cars on the racetrack right now, Jacobs and Poteet, as they ran almost even lap times, although Poteet was almost 4 hundredths faster than the 41 right there. As meanwhile, Qualls still trying to hold off Alyssa Drayson for the second spot. Not really going to be a smart idea, especially when you got 2 more cars that are running super fast right now in Jacobs and Poteet, as they're trying to figure out how to get around these 2. Oh, Poteet actually ran a lot faster than Jacobs, and he's now going to make the move to get to the 4th spot, as Poteet is running really, really strong on the racetrack right now. Up to the 4th spot he goes as he's heading to the back bumper of Alyssa Drayson. As I'm looking at the fastest lap times, Dylan Jacobs still has the fastest lap of the race at a 15.703. And this is actually what Seth Cole is really liking, is everybody racing hard behind him. And yet Seth Cole's still running under 16-second lap times, but you gotta wonder if he's maybe starting to push that car too hard. Because remember, he did not take tires on that last pit stop, and most of the other drivers did, especially Poteet and Jacobs, as they are blazing through the top 5. Dylan Jacobs, wow, he ran a really quick time at a 15.779. So yeah, Poteet and Jacobs, whoa, Jacobs got tight in 3 and 4, and that's going to cost him big time, but Poteet now finally gets up to 2nd. Now he can set his sights on capitalizing on the potential wearing out tires of Seth Cole. But it doesn't seem to be that way for Seth Cole, as he's still running quick lap times. In fact, he ran a faster lap than Dylan Poteet. But like I said, you gotta wonder how long this is going to last, as it's now 30 laps to go, and also you gotta keep this in mind. If we stay clean and green the rest of the race, they're gonna have to pit one more time before the end of the race. And it will really cause a ripple effect as far as who will come out where, depending on when drivers elect to come to pit road. But Dylan Poteet ran about 9/100ths faster than Seth Cole on that previous lap, so we'll see if Poteet has anything for the 25, and in fact, wow, he cut that lead to he cut about a half a second lap time off of Seth Cole, so yeah, I think Seth's tires are starting to wear out, as Poteet's tires are still much better in the good than the 25, although they about ran equal lap times. I think Poteet might have pushed it a bit too hard on that previous lap, so maybe Poteet will have to start conserving a little bit and still gradually run down the leader. Got a pretty good chunk out of the lead right there, almost 2/10ths on that previous lap, and now Seth Cole about to encounter lap traffic, so this could also benefit the 31 of Poteet in hopes of trying to run down the 25 and get to the race lead. And Poteet actually searching for his first win of the season, and he fell from about 16th down to 24th after a very abysmal race at Michigan. And Poteet definitely looking to rebound. Meanwhile, back here, the battle for 3rd continues to rage on, as James Quall's trying to hold off Alyssa Drayson and Dylan Jacobs, as Jacobs still trying to get around these two in hopes that he might be able to try and close the gap on the 2 cars in front of him. But that's going to be quite a daunting task, so to speak. Poteet continuing to chop down that lead, as he's now got to just a little over a second. Poteet really a man on a mission, as he's still running under 16-second lap times, and that's because his tires are 15 laps more to the good than Seth Cole's tires. Now it's under a second, as now Seth Cole is caught trying to get to the back bumper of Scott Groverston's machine. And who knows if Groverston's going to hold up the 25 and help the 31 catch up to him, or let him go. 2/10ths cut off of the lead that lap, as Poteet slowly reeling him in. Slowly but surely, and now he's really closed the gap. I want to say he probably gained about 2 or 3 tenths on that lap. 2.5 tenths make that. So it was right in the middle. And this is also what guys like Dylan Jacobs were hoping for too, is these two will start to race it out, and they can catch up. Now it's 2/10 between Seth Cole and Dylan Poteet. As now the battle's about to begin, as Poteet now trying to get past Scott Groverston to put him behind. But it looked like Seth Cole, yeah, he ran a little bit faster of a lap time, although, whoa, Quentin Moore! And the caution is out, and Quentin Moore's motor has exploded. So we're under caution again, and once again the caution comes at an opportune time for Seth Cole as Poteet was catching him. And there's also some damage to a bunch of cars. Looks like Laney Marino was one that was involved. I know Dylan Young got a piece of it. Rafael LeDuc looks like he was involved in this too. But now the leaders have come into pit road, so now let's see if Seth Cole is going to make a tire change or not. Yes, Seth Cole went with 2 tires. I'm shocked he didn't go 4, and Dylan Jacobs actually comes out in second. So Dylan Jacobs now really going to try to go for the strategy run in hopes that he can pass Seth Cole for the win, possibly. But yeah, the top 5, it looks like it's going to be Seth, Jacobs, Poteet, Zorline, and Matthews when we get back to racing. But let's take a look and see what brought the caution out for the second time today here at Toledo. Well, here's a look at what happened. So this is off of turn 4, and we narrowly avoided complete and utter disaster with this wreck. So it's a battle for the 16th spot between Quentin Moore and Dylan Young. And Dylan Young tries to get in line behind the 27, but just wasn't quite clear. Ends up turning the 27. They avoid the openings, which is what we avoided with disaster. But still, Quentin Moore hit the inside wall pretty hard. Then he comes back up, collects Dylan Young, and they both go up into the outside wall, causing the two to get up on 2 wheels for a second, and then Quentin Moore spins around. Same with Dylan Young. But now to see who all else gets into this and how. Lisa Nelson, a tiny piece of it, ends up getting into the 27, and then the 27 starts to pirouette down the track. Cole Deaver hit him pretty hard, sent him up into the air, and then Rafael LeDuc had nowhere to go, gets into Quentin again. Man, Quentin Moore just kept getting hit by everybody. Slight scrape from Lindsey Snyder, and then a hit right there into the rear, which caused engine problems on the 27 right there, as Laney Marino. And that was right in front of the leaders when that happened, so luckily Seth Cole narrowly avoided running into the 34, and that could have changed the complexion of this race. Either way, it still did, but let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Toledo. Well, after that caution, we have so far 2 cars out of the race. Lisa Nelson and Cole Deaver, I guess they sustained too much of damage to the point where they're going to be done for today, so tough break for both of them, especially Cole Deaver, who came in 6th in the points. But time running out in this race. Seth Cole has led every lap so far in this race, but it's not been an easy ride for him. 2nd is Dylan Jacobs, 3rd Dylan Poteet, 4th Kyle Matthews, 5th Alyssa Drayson, 6th is James Qualls, 7th Jessica Shelton, 8th is Chris Dollarton, 9th Riley Henry, 10th Melissa Alexander. 11th is Carson Gum, 12th is Jordan Forbes, 13th Dylan Young, 14th Matt McIntyre, 15th Keith Miller Jr., 16th Jesse Turner, 17th Daniel DK, 18th Ryan Acosta, 19th Henry Sanford, 20th William Brock. Rest of the lead lap cars: Charles Belding, Jay Jefferson, Michael Norman, Lindsey Snyder, Daniel Voiles, Jonathan Zorline, Laney Marino, and Rafael LeDuc, with Scott Groverston a lap down and Quentin Moore. Now he's officially out of the race. So we're down to 29 cars on track, 28 on the lead lap. As we now have less than 1 to green, it'll be 11 laps to go here in Toledo. So now we're about to see if with this restart, although Scott Groverston going to be restarting on the inside of Seth Cole, so perhaps this will help Dylan Jacobs on this restart to maybe go to the bottom and make a move, because Scott Groverston is up to speed. He just got caught a lap down because of getting passed by Seth Cole during the green flag run. But boogity, 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 we're back underway. I don't know why I went with the boogity thing, but Groverston didn't quite get going on that restart. Now he's about to get to the inside of Seth Cole, so now Dylan Jacobs can go to the bottom and now try and run down the 25. Groverston now clears, or had Seth cleared to get back on the lead lap. Now here comes Dylan Jacobs with a head of steam, getting close to the back bumper of Seth Cole. So now we're about to see a repeat of what we saw in the first green flag run. And now Jacobs has the run to the inside. First lead change of the race coming, looks like. Although Jacobs kind of backed out of the gas a little bit right there. I don't know if that was smart. And Poteet's actually up here in the mix too, although Poteet, wow, he got really tight on the center of the corner. Seth Cole trying to use the outside lane to keep the spot. Looks like Jacobs might not have enough grip on the car to make the move. That could really change this race up, and Seth Cole still hanging on. And now Dylan Poteet gonna try and get up to second. Does Poteet have anything for the 25 like he had on that last green flag run we had? I don't know. I feel like now with Seth Cole having 2 fresh tires, he might be good to the clear, possibly. Although Chris Dollarton's suddenly now up here in the mix too. But Seth Cole still got a car up ahead of him, and that's Scott Groverston. So if Groverston's going to be a detriment to the 25, it could really help Poteet and company. But time is running out, less than 5 laps to go, and Seth Cole just needs to hold off everybody, and he will have a dominating performance and pick up the win here in our first trip in Ohio here at Toledo. And he ran under a 16-second lap time, really pulled away from Poteet right there. Might have been some adjustments done to some of the cars that were up here in the top 10 or so, and it didn't pan out. Laney Marino keeps pulling into pit road trying to get damage repaired, it seems, as it's now less than 3 laps to go, and Seth Cole holding on to a little less than a second lead over Dylan Poteet. I don't know if... Oh, Seth Cole! Oh my goodness! Seth Cole had to come back into pit road! That is a heartbreaker! That has got to be one of the most heartbreaking moments of any driver I've seen in this series. He dominated the race. Something must have went wrong with the car, and he's in pit road, handing the lead to Dylan Poteet as the white flag is out. James Qualls actually got a big run. Does he have anything for Poteet? I don't know if it's going to be enough, although he's trying to go to the inside. Oh, he's there. It's going to be a drag race here at the finish line. Dylan Poteet by a half a car length wins the Ford 400 at Toledo. Dramatic turn of events here in Toledo, as Seth Cole must have had something go wrong with his car. Had to come into pit road, coming to 2 laps to go after dominating this race, and Dylan Poteet scored a win, but in a photo finish, as Qualls really tried. If he had made the move like about a second sooner, it might have been a closer finish and might have gotten the win, but regardless, what a way to end this race. And Dylan Poteet scoring his first win in quite a long time as he wins here at Toledo. But let's look at the rest of the results. James Qualls with only his second top 5 finish of the season, if you can believe it, as he finishes in second, and he almost got the win. But if he had made that move about 2 seconds sooner, he might have been able to get that win there. But still, phenomenal points day for that 70 car. Riley Henry with his second top 5 of the season, finishing in 3rd. Chris Dollarton with his first good run in quite some time, finishing 4th. And then Alyssa Drayson continuing a little bit of a resurgence, finishing in 5th. Jessica Sheldon, solid performance in the 6th spot. Dylan Jacobs, who was top 5 all race long, seemed like whatever adjustment they made to the car did not work out, as he lost 5 spots since that restart, but still another top 10 run in 7th. Keith Miller Jr. with a great run in the 8th position. Henry Sanford, solid run in 9th. And Melissa Alexander with a 10th place run. Great run for her. Then there's your top 20, top 30, and the rest of the field. But no bottom 5. Everybody has been scored points as a result of this race, with only being 32 cars. But our next race, we should be back to having a full 40-car field as the Midwest swing continues as we head to IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park. But until then, here is Dylan Poteet's victory burnout and the point standings heading into IRP. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.